everyone, I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel. I'm really glad you're here today, and you are probably here because it is Friday face-off time. If you were born in the 70s and watched TV in the 80s, what is that I'm humming? Ooh, it's Howdy Doody time, right? Am I right? I don't want to get any copyright issues. Not that anybody could tell what tune that was I was humming, because I am musically bad. Just bad, all the way around. Bad. Can't sing, no musical instruments. Didn't even play that plastic little flute in 3rd grade very well. Thank gosh my music teacher, Mrs. Johnson, was awesome. All right, so we're going to talk about Friday Face-Off, and that means we are taking 2 very beloved products, and in this episode it is going to be BB creams, and we're going to put them on side by side and put them through wear tests. And because I have oily skin in this area, a little bit through the T-zone, I guess, and dry skin right through the cheeks, a little bit of combination skin, I guess, we're going to be able to test how both of these hold up on those skin types, as well as a cream contour under them. We're going to use a concealer around my eyes on top of them, and a powder blush. So we're going to put these through the gamut today. So let's go through the differences between BB cream, CC cream, tinted moisturizer, and foundation, because it can be a lot confusing, not just a little. BB cream has your moisturizer because it hydrates. It has sunscreen protection, and it has coverage, meaning a light coverage like your foundation. It's 3 products, 1 step, and you're out the door. So BB creams are great, not only for summer, but year round if you're looking for more light coverage. Now, when it comes to coverage, a BB cream offers more coverage than a tinted moisturizer, but less coverage than a foundation. Next up is CC creams. Now, CC creams are really meant for those that have some color correcting to do. Some CC creams offer sunscreen protection and hydration, but not all. They're really meant to offer that color correction with your coverage or your foundation. So a CC cream is best for those that have some color correcting that they want to do, and they want that to be in the same step as foundation, but they're okay with adding their moisturizer and their sunscreen before the CC cream. Next, tinted moisturizer is just that. It's your moisturizer that has some tint to it that's not going to offer as much coverage as a BB cream or CC cream, but it's going to give you just enough to sort of smooth out your complexion. Last is your foundation or your base, and that's where you're going to get more of your medium to full coverage. Sometimes you can get sheer coverage, but then you're back into that tinted moisturizer space. It typically offers a variety of finishes, whether you want a matte finish, a satin finish, a radiance finish, or a natural glow finish. You'll get less finish options in your BB creams and your CC creams, although typically those are going to be more of your natural finish. So depending on what you're looking for, and that may change on what type of skin you have, as well as the time of the year, then hopefully this will help you decide if you want BB cream, CC cream, tinted moisturizer, or foundation. For me, I fall in the BB cream in the summer because I want to take those 3 steps as long as that sunscreen protection is high enough, and I still put my La Roche-Posay on first and then my BB cream. And then I'll reach for my full coverage foundation if I have special events or in the fall and winter time. So hopefully that helps provide some information on what BB creams are and helps you decide if they're right for you. And if it is, then today's video is going to help you narrow down that decision even finer, because I am putting my favorite BB cream to the test up against one that is a Korean based or K-beauty based, been in business for about 20 years, so relatively new on the market in terms of the cosmetic world, but this has taken the beauty industry by storm. Out of over 11,000 reviews, this has 4.5 stars. That's pretty unheard of. Even my beloved Shiseido doesn't have that many. So let's break down the differences, and as always with Friday Face Off, I'm going to show you the application, we're going to talk about the formulas, and then we'll do a wear test so that at the end of this video you will know how these perform after 8 to 10 hours, and I think today's going to actually be more like 13 hours, so we're really going to put them to the test. But we are busy and we are ambitious and we have busy lives, and we need to put on our makeup in the morning and not have to worry about it throughout the day. So let's see how these hold up. So let's talk about some specifics between both of them. The Misha brand, as I mentioned, is a K-beauty brand, and it's been in business for about 20 years, and they've sold over 100 million units of this BB cream. Now I have it in number 25. It had 12 different shades, and it has an SPF of 42. It also has hyaluronic acid in it to help moisturize your skin, and it has rosemary leaf extract and chamomile flower extract to help soothe your skin. It's medium to high coverage. It dries down to a natural finish, and it's cruelty free. And for 1.7 ounces, this is selling on Amazon for $12. It's a thicker, creamy formula and has very, very little fragrance. Now on the Shiseido side, this is 1 ounce and sells for $38, and this has 4.2 stars out of over 3,400 ratings. This also has an SPF. This one's an SPF of 50, and it has a cooling technology so that it helps cool your skin as you put it on. This one offers a medium coverage that quickly dries down and helps protect your skin from sun damage in the water up to 15 minutes, and if you're out perspiring or sweating, up to 30 minutes. This one is a much thinner consistency, although it does offer light to medium coverage. Very little scent to this one as well, and it also dries quickly to a dewy, natural finish. As I mentioned before, this one is my go-to if I'm gonna be outside doing anything active and I'm gonna be sweating. I don't want my face to look like I'm sweating. This is good for if you're going to Disneyland, for example, where it's gonna be hot, or Disney World, where it's gonna be humid, or you're gonna just be outside in a heat environment, but you still wanna look like you have a nice, flawless complexion. That's why I love this. This is my summer go-to. There are a lot of good BB creams on the market. It was a little hard to narrow down which one to put up in a Friday face-off, but I know how well this one performs, and a lot of people say this one performs well. So that is why I chose these two today. So I've got them both on. I'm gonna walk you through exactly how easy they were to apply. And then at the end of this video, we're gonna see how they held up to at least 8 hours. If you're ready, let's go back in time and get this started. There are so many fun things about BB creams and CC creams and tinted moisturizers, well, and foundations, and well, let's just makeup in general, that this is gonna be a really fun one, because if they're really meant to save you steps, then we should see that it still looks beautiful on the skin, but that it saves us steps. That is what we are here for. And if it can help save steps in terms of being the primer and the foundation, or the cover-up, and, what's this cover-up? That sounds so, that's an old term for foundation. It's our cover-up. But if it can be the primer and your foundation and your sunscreen all in one, that saves you time in not having to layer those steps, then it gives you time to have other steps, like contouring, for example, which we are going to do as well, so that we can see how well both of these BB creams work on top of products, cream products, as well as how do they wear with powder products over them. Because we're gonna use a cream contour underneath this product and a powder blush on top of the product, so that we can see how these perform after about 8 hours, and in the beginning, of course, but we always look good when we first leave the house. It's after the day goes on, that is when we look in the mirror with either fright or delight. We all know how that goes. After a makeup experiment, it's usually more on the fright side. So to give these both a fair shot, let's try a little bit of cream contour right in this area on both sides to see how it wears. And let's just go ahead and get my hair all the way out of the way, because I spend too much time trying to get my hair blonde, and then I will blend that in, and then that's the only places that I really want to use any contour. And if you don't use a cream contour, you might use a cream concealer, or you might use a cream blush. So either way, under any of those scenarios, we want to see how these BB creams last with a cream product under them, because again, these are designed to be a skin first product. First up, we're going to use the Misha M Perfect Cover BB cream. I have it in number 25. This is an SPF of 42, like I said, and it just says to apply the amount needed and to use a damp beauty sponge. Now this has medium to high coverage, and you can see by how thick that formula is that it probably is pretty high coverage. It's not runny, it's not more of your tinted moisturizer. So I'm just gonna start with that, about that much. I think that's probably plenty. And you can see just by the coverage from this side to this side how well it covers. So to know that this has hyaluronic acid in it to give me that nice hydrating effect that I'm looking for, and to know that it has sunscreen in it, is also a nice bonus. Sometimes foundations or tinted moisturizers can give you sort of that settling or lack of coverage over a cream formula. This does not do that. I can see why this is rated so well on Amazon, because that coverage, you guys, is really pretty. Now I'm going to my bonus daughter's high school graduation this evening. I would typically do more of a glam look, more of a high coverage foundation. So to use a BB cream was a little bit of a step for me, because you guys know me, it's usually a full coverage. And especially for an event where there'll be photos, but I'm impressed with how well this covers. So I'm feeling pretty good about that decision. Now, I may look at the pictures in a week from now and go, what the heck was I thinking? But right now, feeling pretty solid about it. I'm gonna use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer just to cover up that little bit of darkness, purple area underneath my eyes. And it looks like that concealer is blending nicely also on top of this BB cream. So that's always important. You want to make sure that your base formulas match. And what I mean by that is if your foundation or your BB cream is a water-based, then you want your concealer to also be water-based. If your foundation, BB cream, tinted moisturizer is an oil-based, then you also want your concealer or other products that you're gonna pair with it to be that same oil base. That helps the two products melt together and not look quite so separated. Okay, all right, I am on the Misty Party train. I see it, I get it. If this holds up for 8 hours, Shiseido might be in trouble. And you get quite a bit. This is 1.7 ounces. Now, the thing that was interesting about this is it was $12 on Amazon, and that's where I purchased mine from, because if I'm going to link a product in my description box for you guys from Amazon, I always link the same seller that I purchased the product from. Now, that does not guarantee that it's the same quality as the one I received, but that's the only way I know to help minimize any risk of a counterfeit product. Oh gosh, that never happens. It has happened. And then I switched sellers. And on the Misha website, this sells for $24. And I did a lot of research to try to find out why is it 50% less on Amazon than it is on the company website. Now, this is a Korean brand. That typically doesn't lead to that big of a price difference. So just know that if you feel more comfortable purchasing this from the website of the company, then it is $24. If you use the link below that I used, then at least you're getting the same seller that I used, and so far the quality is great. We'll see how it holds up in 8 hours. And then just to finish up this side, I'm just gonna add a little bit of this Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush. I've really loved this. I find myself reaching for it. I think it's just because it's a nice, cool blush, but the pigment isn't real bright, so I don't feel like I risk getting too much of a color deposit right off the bat, which is perfect because I'm not a big blush person. But I do wanna see how these products wear with powder over them, because many of you like to use a little bit of powder. And yeah, so we will see how it wears. So moving on to the Shiseido one, as I mentioned earlier, this has been my go-to for many years and I love it. Now it only comes in 3 shades because it's really meant to be more of that tinted moisturizer, but it is sweat proof. And for many of us that are going through times of change, wink wink, and you find yourself sweating from the inside out like a very hot furnace for a quick second, you know what I'm talking about. This is a very good BB cream for you to be thinking about because it locks in that moisture so you don't get the sweat breaking through your foundation or your BB cream. Same as if you're gonna be out boating or out on the beach and it's hot out by the pool, or you're out at a pool party and you don't want your face to melt off, which I have been guilty of until I found this. Not sponsored. It is a very good BB cream that is 50 SPF. Now for $38, you get 1 ounce of this, and it comes in light, medium, and dark. And it also says that it wraps perspiration in a citrus floral scent to help mask unpleasant odors associated with sweating. Now, I'm a big fan of this, but I have to tell you, I don't know that I've ever sweated and smelled like an orange grove. This one's a much runnier consistency, which would make sense because it offers sheer to light coverage. And I have it in color medium. Since it comes in 3 shades, I had a 33% chance of getting that correct. One of the reasons I like this is because if I use just a little bit of a self-tanning lotion on my face, which I do from time to time, then I wake up with a little bit of a tan already. Then I just add this on top of it, and I've got my sunscreen, I've got my primer, I've got good coverage, but not glam coverage. And for summer, that's just perfect for me. You can see the coverage between the two. This is definitely more of a sheer to light versus this is medium to full coverage, which for BB cream, I gotta say I'm loving. We'll add a few dots of concealer. And then we'll finish this side up with a little bit of powder blush just to see how it wears as well. And I think really considering the coverage difference in both of these, I would say that side by side on my face, they look pretty similar. I don't think if you saw me out in public, you'd go, oh wow, you have 2 different sides of coverage on. They both feel like they have dried down nicely. Neither one feels tacky. And they've dried down to be somewhat of a natural radiance glow. I don't feel like I'm over shiny, and I definitely don't feel like I'm matte with these. I feel like they're pretty natural looking, as natural as you can be with already 3 products. But it did save us time. That was what, maybe 4 minutes if I would just quit talking, but then what fun would that be? So we're gonna see how these wear throughout the day. I'm not gonna put on any setting spray with them because in the summer we want less layers. We don't wanna lock all that in if we don't have to, unless you have a special event, which in that case you probably won't be wearing a BB cream. The application of both of these, very simple. I think they both look very, very nice. I can't tell a difference of one over the other right now, so we will see how these wear. It is hot here today, about 85 degrees. I have a lot going on, a couple events throughout the day, and then a late night event. So I will be checking in with you guys at about 11:30 tonight, and right now it is 8:30 a.m. So that's how the day's gonna go. So if we're ever gonna test anything, I guess this would be the conditions for which we wanna know, can it hold up? Because that is our busy life. I wanted to do a 5-hour check-in just to show you how well both of these BB creams are holding up without setting them with the powder and being where I've had some sweating. It's not, I haven't been working out, let me not over exaggerate, but it's 88 degrees here. I've been in and out of the car. I've been outside talking to people. So I was hot. Here's the Shiseido side. It still's holding up nicely. It doesn't look like it's separating from any of the other products or from my skin. And same with the M side or the Misha side, no separation, still really good full coverage, and it doesn't feel heavy, and yeah, neither one of them feel sticky. So at this point of the face off, it feels like we're at a tie minus the price point. So we will see. The telltale sign will be at the end of the day. I wanted to push both of these BB creams to their limits because most of the time that we reach for BB creams, it's summertime and the days are longer in summer. There's more activities to fit in the day. So I wanted to really push the boundaries here and see how well these can hold up at about 14 hours. I rarely have a 14-hour day at this stage of life. 20 years ago, 14-hour days where you're just getting started. But we're in a different phase of life, so this may not be how far you need your BB creams to work, but let's just check it out. On the Misha side, I can see why this has over nearly 11,000 4.5-star reviews. It held up really, really nicely. I didn't have to powder it anywhere to help it to last. Even up in here in my oily areas, it still is wearing really nicely. And remember, we put that cream contour on underneath. So super impressed with how well this stood the test of time, the hours of time, and the humidity. So was not expecting this to turn out as well as it did. Here's the box again. Here's what it looks like. So this is a keeper for me for sure. On the Shiseido side, it also held up nicely. It's not as full coverage. You can kind of tell the difference between the two sides. It didn't get shiny throughout the day either. It still stayed in place. It didn't get tacky. It didn't move around. It didn't really settle into fine lines and wrinkles. BB creams shouldn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles because typically the formula just isn't that thick and it has that hydration built into it. On the Shiseido side, equally as happy with how it performed and held up over that many hours and that many different conditions. It also is still wearing up here in the oily space, although it does look like where I have oily skin, it's worn off a little bit more. And in fairness, I have, my hair touches my forehead on both sides. So if it's worn on one side and not the other, I'd have to think that that's the BB cream. It's a little shinier right through here where I do typically have a little bit more dry skin, but I'm reminded of why I love this BB cream so well. It's a beautiful natural finish that lasts all day. So for the first time ever in a Friday Face Off, I have to declare a tie. And I'm sorry. Here's the difference. One is medium to what they call high coverage. One is light to medium coverage. So that could be a little bit of a difference. One is really good with heat, hot flashes, things like that. So they're both really good products. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. I declare a tie. And that's never happened. So there you go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this Friday Face Off. And BB cream is a really easy way to go for the summer or all year if you want to minimize 3 steps into just 1. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.